Okay, let's talk a little bit about class safety for this class at this conference.
Today's video is brought to us by Mantis. The Mantis family of products is integral to ASP staff building handgun and carbine skills and are your most economical and fastest path to improvement in your skills too. Whether you choose the X10, the Laser Academy, the Blackbeard, or use them all in concert, they will help your practice be more effective, efficient, and fun. Go check them out, pick up a unit, and thank them for sponsoring today's video.
ASP and John really prefer the NRA 3 rules of gun safety. Can anybody tell me what rule number 1 is as ASP states it?
Point it the direction of least consequence.
Point it in the direction of least consequence. Excellent. Rule number 2.
Finger at home off the trigger.
Finger high and at home off the trigger until you intend to shoot. Excellent. And rule number 3. Keep firearms unloaded until they're in use. And that a lot of defensive people have a hard time. Well, all my guns are always in use. Really, just the ones you're carrying and the ones that you have prepared for defense. Everything else should be unloaded. I grew up on the 4 rules by Jeff Cooper, and I must admit it took me an embarrassingly long time to memorize the 4 rules of gun safety and the particular order. So I came up with a handy little mnemonic to remember the 4 rules, and that is, let's meet for tacos. Rule number 1, always treat every gun with the respect you would give a gun that is loaded. Right. You know, you can't say all guns are always loaded because that's obviously hard to, but treating guns with the respect you would give a loaded gun. Absolutely. Rule number 2, never let the muzzle cover anything you're not willing to destroy, or always point it in the safest direction or in a safe direction. And on that safe direction, have a little public service announcement.
Okay.
Okay.
That's awesome.
That's a good reminder.
Yes, yes. Rule number 3. Jeff Cooper, I love the guy. He did outstanding work, but keep your finger off the trigger. To me, that is just it's a very ambiguous command. Can everybody confirm this is just a toy gun, nothing in it here? So my finger is off the trigger, right? My finger is absolutely off the trigger. However, if I clench this hand for any reason, bang and oops. Even with my finger on the frame right there, if I clench this hand, bang and oops. So in TDR classes, what I request is that you keep your finger high on the slide until you intend to shoot. Keep your finger touching the slide until you intend to shoot. Because no matter how hard I clench this hand, that finger will not accidentally go to the trigger.
Okay.
All right, and rule number 4. You can tell me Cooper's rule number 4.
Is it
Target and what's beyond it.
Be certain of your target and what's beyond it. People think of this, okay, these are great range rules. These are actually battlefield rules, as I understand. One thing I want you to think about for rule 4 is home defense. I suspect many of us keep guns in the home for home defense. I have heard people say to my face, and I have seen it expressed on online forums, if I find somebody in my house that I don't recognize, I'm just going to shoot them. I don't need to warn them. I can assume they're armed, and I'm just going to shoot them. The problem is about 90% of the time, according to Claude Warner's studies, someone in your house you don't recognize does not need to be shot. And instead, what they need is, from a position of cover, who's there? I have a gun. 90% of the time, the answer is going to be something like, oh, it's me, hon. I'm home early from my business trip. It's me, dear. I heard a noise in the yard just coming back inside. It's me, Grandpa. I'm sneaking out of school and playing hooky. A number of reasons why you may not recognize somebody. Now, if this person in your house you don't recognize is attacking you, trying to hurt you, by all means, protect yourself. But if it's just somebody there, who's there? I have a gun. 2 additional rules that I'm very fond of. Number 1 is never try to catch a dropped gun. If it falls, let it fall. My friend Akil Kadir says it best, falling guns are all trigger. The second one, which does not really apply in this class, is don't bend over with a gun in your hand until you've been trained how to do so safely, and never do it in a gun class. IDPA, other shooting sports, there may be a time when you have to bend over with a gun in your hand, and in that case, you're going to pay extreme attention to finger discipline and muzzle discipline.